People ask me a lot about what is it like having a sister with Down syndrome. As you can see, I have my sister, Gracie, at shower. Say hi to them. Gracie, look down.
Hi.
The fact is, it's a kind of pretty broad question. There's so many things that are the same, and yet again, there's so many things that are different. There's a lot of things that I don't understand about her, and there's a lot of things that doctors still don't understand about Down syndrome either. There's a lot of things that scientists don't understand about space, but yet you don't have to understand something to enjoy it. The point is, a lot of people are surprised when they first meet Gracie because she breaks their judgment of what they anticipated of her. This is not just for me, my grading class, but for the 1 in 691 babies in the U.S. born with Down syndrome each year. Down syndrome is a chromosomal disorder. Down syndrome is also called trisomy 21, and everybody has 46, or you can go to the next slide.
I'm supposed to do this? What?
Just click the arrow. Somebody hold it
Oh,
up.
it's
so
a
now
bar.
I'm
I have
fine.
no.
Big bar.
Big sign.
Okay.
There you go. And I'll click play.
Let me get the volume.
Oh, there's no volume.
Oh, there's no volume. Okay.
There you go. Okay. People have 46 chromosomes in each of their DNA makeup. And then in Down syndrome, the 21st chromosome sometimes has an extra portion of a chromosome in it, which creates Down syndrome. 75% of babies, before they're even born, that have trisomy 21 die. Gracie, when she was born, her brain was identical to normal 6-month-old babies, just like all of us. Or babies until she was 6 months old. That's when her brain started to slow down, and you guys became ahead of her. Down syndrome happens because mothers that are older have a more higher chance of having a disabled child. And legally today, doctors are obliged to take an amnio and pre-screen mothers for if they're going to have a child with disabilities. But with these tests, there's a lot of miscarriages. And 90% of mothers that find out they're going to have a disabled child abort the baby. But if the baby does have a chance to live, there are many roadblocks ahead for the parents. For their health concerns that happen a lot occur in Down syndrome is they have heart defects, recurring ear infections, and sleep apnea. They also have a slow metabolism, so they slowly digest their food slower, and they burn less calories than us. So they have to do more extracurricular activity and to keep them in shape rather than somebody that just sits on a couch and does nothing. Some characteristics of Down syndrome is they have smaller eyes that are inward, and they sometimes have a symmetry crease in between their hands that is like a straight line, like ours goes like this. A shorter neck, a fatter tongue, small ears and nose and mouth. They have a rounded face, along with shorter toes and fingers that are stumpier, and sometimes they can be webbed. And they also can have a sandal gap in between their toes, that's a wider gap. And in between their colored part of their eyes, they have speckles and spots that are called brush fields. In the first 3.5 weeks of Gracie's life, she was in the NICU, the Newborn Intensive Care Unit. She was fed through a tube, and they found 3 holes in her heart. She was too small to have a surgery, so she had to wait till she was 6 months old. And by the time she was the right size to have a surgery, she was in the hospital for 6 days. The surgery went well, and she started gaining weight, and she hasn't really slowed down since. She started early intervention after the surgery until she was 3 years old. They started with a peanut ball thing to build up her core, and then she went to a sit-up chair, and by the time she was 2, they wanted to put ankle braces on her to walk. But she didn't need them because by the time she was 3, she was walking without them. Horseback riding has also helped her motor skills, posture, and speech surprisingly because the speech builds up their diaphragm so it's easier for them to talk, as well as it boosts their self-esteem. And also because, you know, I'm like in horses a lot, she's like extra awesome. And like Down syndrome is a little bit harder to understand because they have a larger tongue and smaller mouth. So they their words come out a little bit more mumbly. But that doesn't matter because then you have another part to you that you can say, I know another language that books can't even define. To say the least, Down syndrome are very stubborn. They're also very clever to weasel their way in and out of things. The most people with Down syndrome and I could ever ask of you guys in this room is to accept different things in life. We can't go through life staying the same and never coming out of our shells. It is physically impossible for the world to be normal, as what we call. But we are all different in some way, and you know you are. And how you are accepted is all I ask you to accept Down syndrome.